How to find your passion. If you have ever felt like you are not motivated, like the work that you're doing or the life that you're leading is a life that's just boring or maybe even worse, depressing, then you're not alone. I've been there for a long time myself, and I am going to tell you in this video what are some of the best things you can do to get out of that state forever. If you haven't been here before, remember to smash that like button below so it can actually help the channel grow and other people like you see this type of content. Alright, so let's get right into it. What is it that you are trying to fix really? It's just a feeling of being stuck, it's a feeling of being bored, it's a feeling of like not feeling motivated by anything. It's kind of like, you know, maybe you have to pay the bills, maybe that's not an issue, maybe everything should be okay and you should be feeling good but you're not, or maybe everything's in the shitter and you just feel like crap anyways, right? Well, one of the things that you need to account for is that instead of just finding your passion, because that's too like abstract, there's really not a good answer for that. Like if you don't make it workable, something that you can do is actually focus on finding an activity. What do I mean by this? If you like doing things like building, maybe you like building stuff, maybe as a kid you like building Lego kits, maybe you like repairing stuff, maybe when the fridge goes bust, you are the one people call so that you can fix that for your family or for your friends or someone else. Maybe you like creating things, maybe you will be a great graphic designer. Perhaps you like creating either animations, or you like creating works of art, or you like creating graphics or things like those. I don't know, maybe you like persuading people, you like to go into an argument and coming up with really good evidence-based arguments that can actually be conveyed and make the other person see your point of view and agree to it. Maybe that's something that you really enjoy. The point is that if you want to find your passion, really what you must focus on is finding something to do that you can get a lot of enjoyment from. This is something that's interesting because it's been researched before, and really what you're looking for is something that you will do even if you weren't being paid for it, even if other people wouldn't think that you're cool because you're doing it. You're simply doing it because you like doing it. Does that make sense? To give you an idea, sometimes we do many things just because we're gonna get approval from others. Sometimes we do things because we're gonna get paid and we actually need the money, right? We're doing things not for the activity, not because we enjoy the activity during the time we're doing it, but we're doing it because of what we're going to get after doing that activity. And that is a recipe for being miserable or not being fulfilled at work. Many people, me included, for a long part of my life, I just went in and did other things that I didn't particularly like just because that's something that I had to do according to my family or according to societal standards, and because it will give me money or prestige and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, I felt miserable. If that's how you're feeling right now, then let me tell you, like, I can really feel you. I know how that feels, and it sucks. And sometimes you don't know what to do, exactly what you did wrong, and sometimes you feel like maybe you need to achieve more, do more of what you're already doing because it's not enough. And let me tell you, that is a trap. You're never ever gonna get what you need emotionally and from a fulfillment standpoint just by doing that. So let's get back on track. Basically, you just want to find something that you really enjoy. That's how people find things like hobbies that they like to do. They hop into hobbies and that's something that they truly find enjoyment of, and that's great. If that's you, you can do that. Even further, if you can, find an activity that you can actually make your, let's say, 9 to 5 or your work, or maybe build a business around it. Why? Because for better or worse, most of your life is spent working, right? Even if it's a 9 to 5, that's still a lot of time, a lot of your waking time, the best hours, the time in which you have the most energy spent on productive activities. If you don't like that productive activity, if you're just there for whatever other reason, you're just not gonna make it. You're not gonna be happy ever, all right? And if you're here watching this video, chances are that you really wanna be happy. And this was a big mental shift that I had to go through. I'm still going through it. And it's really important. That's why I started making videos on vocation and stuff like that. You can watch other of my videos. If you like them, hit the subscribe and the notification bell so you get more. And really, that's what it's about. It's about finding something that you like doing because it makes you feel good about it. And believe it or not, there is something like that. Even if you don't feel like you've ever found something like that, you will be able to. Now, how do you actually go about it? Well, here's the deal. This is gonna sound silly, but you actually have to try it out. You have to try different things out. You've never gone fishing, maybe go fishing for once. You've never done ice skating, go do ice skating. You've never tried selling stuff to people, well, go do that. Or what other people recommend is also to look back into your childhood and think of stuff that you really enjoyed doing. What was it about that you really enjoyed doing? Was it just playing games? Or was it actually competing and winning? Or was it actually having that feeling of growth, of like getting stronger? Or maybe you were, I don't know, playing a game or doing something where you felt like you were advancing, right? And that's something important too. Whatever you choose needs to be something in which you can get that actual feeling of growth and that feeling of, I am actually doing something, I'm having an impact, right? So it could be anything. Even if you pick something as silly as, let's call it silly because nothing like that is silly. Let's call it gardening, right? Like maybe that's a hobby and you really enjoyed nurturing those plants and seeing them grow and actually organizing them. That's something else you could like, right? Like actually organizing stuff. And really that's what matters, like finding that thing that speaks to you. And you do that by trying a lot of stuff. Now, there can be a lot of things that you can try out. So how can you actually narrow that down? One way to do that is to actually look into both your interest, but also what we call your core values. Why? Because sometimes you can like an activity, but the way in which you actually produce money from it, or if you do it a certain way, it's not going to be very good for you. For example, I personally like persuading other people, right? That is an interest of mine. I have a high level of interest in that activity in and of its own, right? That's why I'm a freaking YouTuber. Like I'm just talking here. So that is cool and all. And I found that whenever I was talking with someone else and that will be interesting, even sales calls, I will have them and that will be great. However, when I started working selling for other people, for other businesses, what I found was that I did not feel good doing that. And not so much about the activity, but because one of my core values is actually, and I have forgotten about that, what they call control, right? Like control of like the business itself and like my own destiny and that kind of stuff. So that meant that even though I was doing an activity that I like, let's say I found my passion, I was doing it in a workplace environment where I didn't feel good because I didn't have that control over my destiny that I felt I needed, right? So that's something else that you need to keep into account. There are many things that are too many for me to mention in this one YouTube video, so I will strongly suggest that you check some of the other playlists, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you know whenever a new video comes out, because we will keep covering these topics over and over again so we can actually reach more other people that are feeling that way. I can tell you, I myself, I had a period of time, like over a year and a half, almost 2 years, in which I felt even depressed because I didn't know what to do, what was best. I knew that what I was doing was not working. I knew that I had pushed and pushed and pushed to go further and further. And at the end of the day, that is not the solution. But now I'm actually feeling pretty cool, pretty good about myself, my prospects, what I'm doing with my day to day. And at the end of the day, I think that matters most than the actual destiny, like your road, your journey. Does that feel good for you? Do you feel like you're at the top of your game? Do you feel like you're growing? Do you have that feeling of like, I'm fucking living my passion, even though not every moment of every single day is gonna be the best, because that's just probably unrealistic. Alright, so if you like this video, comment below, let me know if you have any questions or anything in particular. I will definitely cover more things in depth in other videos, but for now, I'll see you later.